with the Hannibal Lecter kind of character. Right? Now imagine going halfway around the world, and the only way that you can tell a North Vietnamese from a South Vietnamese is if, when you pass them, if they don't shoot you in the back, then they're probably South Vietnamese. Okay? You don't speak their language. Most operations in Vietnam were at a minimum company size, which is 300 people, but more often than not battalion size, which is like 3 or 4 different companies at the same time. So you had a lot of bodies in the field. Well, I was in a unit that had very few bodies in the field. We snuck around the bushes, tried to see what was going on, and then sneak back without getting detected. Because we only had our personal load, which means we'd last about 5 minutes in a firefight and we'd be out of ammunition. And in that kind of situation, you really bring it down to elemental trust, because you're not surrounded by 300 motherfuckers. You know, you don't have a machine gun on this side of you and a rocket launcher on that side of you, a tank behind you. You don't have all that, you know, you have just very few people. And one of the people that was in my unit was a homicidal maniac. Because after we finished missions, we'd have a few days off before we go to the next mission. And he just put on some black pajamas and go underneath the tripwires and evade all the flares and everything. Sneak out of the base, go to the nearest village, slit about a dozen throats, and come back and evade all the trip flares and go underneath all the wire and be back in his bed before sunup. Now, imagine not being able to turn your back on one of your own men because he's fucking Hannibal Lecter. He's not eating the people, but he's